Hey guys, Jeff here, Aromatics. Hope you're all having a good day. I am out here fishing again, smoking some Granger. Thought I'd take some time to do a little review on this Granger blend and maybe to chit-chat a little bit on my views about justice. And my views on justice and what I would change and what I would do to just my views on punishment, crime and punishment. So, first of all, we'll start off with the review. And then if you guys want to stick around for the rest, that's fine. If not, at least you got a nice review out of this video. So, I am smoking Granger. It is a codger blend, very similar to Sir Walter Raleigh and Half and Edgeworth Ready Rubbed, blends like that. Basically a coarse cut burley with a little bit of Virginia in there, and usually they have a topping like cocoa or anise or different kinds of spices. And I'm not sure what the topping is on this, but the smell is very spicy. Not spicy, but if you've ever walked into not a bakery, but a spicery where they have, sugars and spices, and you get hit with that, bombarded with that variety of smells. That's what the Granger smells like to me out of the bag. I'm smoking it here in my little modified Marcus. And the taste I get, a little bit of that bitter burley with the sweet, sort of like just a sweet topping, and with a little bit of like that allspice, nutmeg, a little bit of a cedary, sweet cedar. And that burley, that catch you get in the back of your throat. Very good. Burns once it gets going, burns nice. It's a little moist, but it's not goopy. Yeah, just a coarse cut. A lot of those like codger blends are pretty similar, and pretty similar in taste. This is more on that bakery spice flavoring, and I've had ones. Some of them have more of like that licoricey taste, and other ones have a real nice cocoa, chocolatey thing going on. This has got a little bit of that like walnut bitterness. Not really bitter, but just if you've ever had a nut and you just get a little bit of that bitter flavor, and it's almost like a cedar as well. That's what I get from this. Nice hearty smoke. I'm not sure what the room note is on it. Can't really tell. Drinking it with some iced tea. But it seems to retain its flavor pretty much for me. Some codger blends, they start out good, and then I just taste like a harsh smoke. There might be a little tiny bit of an anisette, licoricey taste going on. Very mild. If you don't like licorice, you probably wouldn't notice it. Probably wouldn't offend you. Getting a little bit of a nicotine hit from it. Not much else to say about it. Just a good old-fashioned codger blend. Good medium body, good flavor. You're definitely, smoking something when you're smoking this. It's not super mild. It's good. I recommend if anyone out there hasn't tried a burley codger blend like Half and Half or any of those, don't worry about what people say or what you've heard. Just try them. I'm glad I did. I really enjoy them. Although sometimes they wear out my palate fairly quick. I don't think this Granger is, but some of them do. And in that case, I just leave those for the end of my day, and I have a bowl of that at the end of the day. And then if it wears my palate out, usually by the next morning, it's all reset and good to go again. Nice. So, okay, that's the end of my review. I'm going to go on with my little chit-chat VR. Well, not really a VR, but because this really isn't a topic that anyone's brought up yet. But I thought I would talk about it. And that is my take on justice and crime and punishment. And I think the biggest problem, one of the first ones, is I think the government has too much say over the little things in our life. Like, and some people will probably disagree with me on this, because it's just so different than what we're used to. But like things like wearing your seatbelt, even maybe speeding and doing drugs, anything that just involve like that kind of stuff where you're taking a chance with your own life. I think that should be up to you. Like if you want to wear a seatbelt, I don't think, or buckle your kids in or whatever that kind of stuff is. I mean, of course that's smart. You should be doing that, but I don't think it's the government's place to be telling you that you have to do these things. That's up to you to decide how safe you want to be in life and to decide what kind of safety measures you want to take. Now I know the problem why this doesn't work in our society is because of, especially in Canada, is free healthcare. So I mean, like if you're taking yourself, like say you decide to smoke or whatever, and you get hurt or hurt yourself, well, that puts a burden on the healthcare system, which other people are paying for. But if it wasn't for the healthcare system, I don't think that you should be that the law should have anything to do with like if you want to smoke or even do drugs. Although I disagree with that stuff. I think that's up to you to decide if you want to do that. And another thing is, I don't believe in for most of the crimes out there, the jailing system as a means of punishment. I believe that jails should be there to hold people while they're figuring out what they want to do with them, like for their court hearings, or if they owe money, to hold on to them until they can figure out a way for that money to be paid. So yeah, I believe there's a lot of people that are in the jail system that don't belong there. Like even like people that have done like drugs or just anything that doesn't. Like I think anything that they couldn't be fined for, or my idea of punishment would be like the old days where you'd get whips, like whip punishment. So either fines or whip punishment, or if you deserve the death penalty, like if it's for murder or kidnapping, things like that, then I just believe that there should be a court hearing, and if they're found guilty, they should be put to death. Eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. How is it not, like people are against that, but if you kill somebody on purpose, how is it not fair that person doesn't die? That just sounds fair to me. The fact that they don't die after they've killed somebody, that's not justice to me. So yeah, and not only that, but think those people that have been victims of the kidnapping or the murders, things like that, they can't get any closure. Like it's punishing them, and it's not their fault. Like they should be able to. I know it doesn't fix the problem, but at least they would be able to, have some closure. That person would be put to death, and then they could just know that it's over. That person doesn't exist anymore, and they can go, spit on their grave and get on with their lives as best they can. Whereas if they're just sitting in jail and maybe even able to get out, oh yeah, aha, we got a fish, people. Look at that, nice largemouth bass. What do you think of that, folks? The little guy, little fishy fish. He swallowed it out into his gills. So, poor little guy. Swallowed it in there good. So, stick my finger in his mouth. Get that out of there. Poor little guy. Ow. I'm gonna get that out. What he gets for being greedy. Alright, let me, I guess we're just gonna have to cut this hook and let him go. There. Got the hook in his mouth still, but we'll spit it out. Well, that's nice. Caught a fish today. Alright, so where was I here? So, death penalty. Okay, so we'll get on with that. So what I do believe should be done is, so say if something has been stolen, then they should pay it back, whatever we decide, like threefold, and then maybe they have to go to jail until they can pay it off or find a way to pay it off. What else? And then I also believe instead of the jailing system to punish people, which doesn't work, it just teaches people to be even worse in most cases, is to, number one, the fines, or number two, I believe in whipping. You know, whippings, like, where they whip, you know, beatings. And not beating, I mean beatings as far as, like, across the back, like they used to do back in the old days. In the Bible days. Or maybe put in stocks to be, I don't know, but not jail, that's for sure. And a good example, I know that sounds like cruel and unusual punishment, but from what I've read, if you would ask these people that have been put into jail for crimes such as, you know, drugs or like drug possession, like I don't even believe there should be jail for that. I believe there should be whips, you know, if anything. First of all, I believe that if you're going to personally use drugs, that's up to you. But second of all, yeah, they should be like public floggings, and that way, a good example would be like when I was a kid, I had two forms of punishment usually. That was either grounding for whatever a week, or there would be like, I'd get the belt. Like, I mean, my dad would like, I'd get the belt across the butt, or my mom would give me the wooden spoon. And I know that sounds harsh nowadays, but I tell you, if you asked me back then, we used to talk about it when we were kids. What would you rather be, grounded for a week or get a spanking? And it was a spanking all the way. Because number one, I always deserved it. It was like, I was never a bad kid, but I got into curious trouble, stuff I just wasn't supposed to do. You know, just being a kid. And I knew better. But the thing is, you know, it was never out of anger. I mean, out of wrath or rage. Like, I knew I was getting in trouble, and I would be told that. And then I would get my spanking. And then it was like an hour later, we're going out for ice cream. It's all said, it's done, it's over with. You can get on with your lives. Whereas when you're grounded, there's this animosity between you and your parents for a week or however long it takes. It's not dealt with. It's like the quicker you can deal with something, the better. And so in my personal opinion, I think that the jailing, that's cruel and unusual punishment. It destroys people's minds. It's terrible. I've seen good people come out of jail that were like, you know, it was for tax evasion or whatever, or even false tax evasion. And they've been in there for whatever 5 years, and it just messes them up. They're not the same people anymore. So, also I believe in public trials. It should always be public, so everybody, you know, it's you know, you'd think twice if you're embarrassed in front of people. You know what I mean? If you're going to do something wrong. And plus, there's nothing hidden. Everybody, you know, can see whether or not the judges are being fair or not. And it just keeps everybody honest, in my opinion. What else? I think that's all I pretty much have to say about that for today. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm sure a lot of people totally disagree with that. But yeah, what's your ideas on that, on justice? And do you have, you know, would you add anything or take anything away from what I just said? Let me know. Put some down in the comments below. So, alright, it was fun talking to you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little video and review, and I look forward to doing more. You guys have a great day. Have a good one. Aromatics, signing out.